Hello, one and all. Welcome back to Campaign 14, Dubious Claims. I am your host, as always, Virinity Void, and this here is part 7. 7? Yes, I believe, because I just uploaded part 5, or at least I published part 5 just now. I have part 6 in storage, and then this here is part 7. We are in 1588. We're on the verge of going into the next century, next age even. And it's going to be some interesting stuff, I do believe. If you want to know what happened in the previous parts, please go back and watch those previous parts. We have a lot to get through in terms of some reading, because, hey, I'm going to read the third and fourth national ideas of Kraumna. Actually, you know what? I decided against that, because Kraumna is probably going to be here. One that may not be here in the next part or two, I don't know, is Ragoetsha. So I might as well read their third and fourth national ideas, give them more of a shout. Because, Kravens works hard on these localizations, and I want to give them credit for it by reading some of them out. So, for Ragoetsha, the third national idea is Hunters in the Woods. Of all the Ragoetshan tribes, perhaps none is as infamous as the Woodmen, the Hunters. The clans that live along the densely forested slopes and canyons of our home mountains and can speak among themselves using the sounds of nature, keeping their quarry, animal or human, unaware of the ambushes that are being set on them. They make for excellent trappers and even better archers. Should we care to enlist their services, the army of our confederation shall be made that much more deadly for it. Foreign spy detection plus 33%, infantry shock plus 1. I would think because it's emphasizing the archer aspect, it would be infantry fire plus 1, but sure. The fourth national idea is the Royal Trials. A hallowed series of trials set upon the scions of the ruling clans upon the death of the king in the form of succession that the Ragoetshan Confederacy follows. These trials test the heirs aspirant in all manners of things pertaining to the conduction of statecraft and maneuvering of Ragoetshan society. They involve fasting, asceticism, hunting with the woodsmen, sailing with the raiders, trailing the peaks of our mountains with our warriors, farming with the farmers, dueling amongst themselves, recounting our people's history. Whoever excels in these is given the right to lead the Ragoetshans. Chance of a new heir plus 100%. Alright. So that is Ragoetsha's national ideas. Let's get on with things. 1588. We're probably gonna actually break into the 1600s, maybe go to like 1610? 1609, somewhere around there. And actually, not that. What wars do we have going on? So Kraumna is going after Buk, that's what we saw over here. Japan's going after Saka, as well as Saryugir. Loibuk and their cadre are going after Kamai, Sambas, and Banten. Potawatomi is going after Arapaho. Sumuru is going after Kandi, as well as Shan. Vijayanagara is going after Junagar. And Yugra is going after the Oirat, as well as Saka. Alright, looks good by me. Oh, please unpause. Loibuk has come down here and is kicking ass and taking names, as well as going into Sambas and doing work over there. Even the Loibuk Navy, it's not as powerful as the Sambas Navy as we just saw, but like Loibuk is using all that they can to go against Kamai and their allies. Oh man, I'm burping kind of. I don't know why, but I had some soup earlier. It was some good soup, but it had a little bit more kick than I was used to. Anyways, Potawatomi is getting invaded by Arapaho. They stand about even in terms of full military force potential, or just like quantity-wise. Potawatomi is ahead in military tech by 1, but Arapaho's national ideas lend themselves to a higher quality military in general. Like Arapaho, I know has plus 5% discipline. Potawatomi doesn't have that. Potawatomi does have other national ideas that help their military out, but you know you're gonna need to actually fight Arapaho. Actually, I kind of want to see the stats real quick. Arapaho has the discipline, obviously. Potawatomi has the morale, and tactics is very, very similar. So these fights should be very interesting if there's actually a pitched battle. I mean, I hope there is, but I can't guarantee it. Kraumna taking up a huge chunk out of Book. So Kraumna, even though they got rocked around earlier, they are still doing pretty okay. Like Kraumna's not weak by any means. They lost their land in Iberia, but they've profited in Europe, or in like north of it. They have profited in the French region, and they even won against Fadl. So, like, the breadbasket that is the Egyptian region, it's fueling Kraumna as well as Lemnos. But I think Lemnos is not going to last nearly as long as Kraumna. What other wars do we got? Arawak is going after Fontaine's colony, and then Donauland, as well as their allies, are going after the rest of Rhaetia, as well as the papacy. Kind of weird that a Catholic would be doing that to the papacy, but sure. Is there anything else? Kyderia? No. Really, Fontaine's efforts to establish colonial nations, it's just not going well. It really isn't. Fontaine is trying to go after Arawak, retake that land for the Fontanian colonial nation, but it's not going to amount to much of anything. I think we all know that. Still, it should not be underestimated. Fontaine is doing very well in Europe as a whole. They are definitely more powerful than Kraumna, for example. We got anything else going on? Just Junagadh being fully invaded by Vijayanagara because, well, Vijayanagara, they lost the war against Sumuru and they lost the important port of Cuttack, so they gotta find power elsewhere. Loibuk, they have taken the majority of Kamai's land in China and they are just doing as they please. Yeah. No complaints, I guess. Saka is colonizing more of Borneo and even the Philippines, which I've said it's weird before. I'm not going to stress it some more. It's just like Siberians and Borneo. Do you guys know how to survive over there? Or are you just asking the locals for help? I'm going to move my mic just a little bit. Chukchi is actually doing really well in terms of just like, they're not bordering anyone, their mainland is not bordering anyone, and they're just chilling. Literally chilling. With their ice fortress at Penjina. So, good stuff. Nivk is trying to defend their own land, the Niv conquest of Wolanhe, which is against Saka. So, Nivk wants stuff here in Manchuria, they really do. Loibuk is going over to Scottish China, and, it's Loibuk. They have been the warmonger of China. Louis Degas is just chilling on the side, kind of just spectating, eating popcorn and not giving a shit, but do I expect anything else from them? They're pretty isolated. Junagadh lost quite a bit of land to Vijayanagara. Potawatomi is slowly but surely losing the war against Arapaho, and Caddo, as well as Teotl, are going after Potawatomi once more. Indeed, it seems as though the stalwart stalwart nation that is Potawatomi is slowly but surely crumbling beneath the pressure. Fontaine, they did win against Arawak, but I mean, is this land that Fontaine took even going to be worth anything? Is it? I don't know. I don't think it's going to last very long, in my humble opinion. Ormond is slowly getting into West Africa, and so is Fontaine. There is a colony being set up. Paradox 1 and Paradox 2. No, just Zizao and Banyoro. Sofala is allied with Fadl, as well as Mogadishu. Mogadishu, despite losing that war pretty badly to Semyon, they're still thriving. They're not as powerful as Semyon, but you know, they're sticking around. You know, they are not down. They are not out completely. Japan is consolidating more of their land. They just won a war against Chukchi. And yeah, I want to see these stats here. Loibuk versus Scottish China. Discipline favors Scottish China. Morale favors Loibuk. Tactics are roughly the same. Yeah, I got really nothing else to say other than Scottish China just doesn't have the quantity to hold off the invasion. Loibuk has almost 200,000 troops ready to go. Like, it is not a small wave that is coming through. It's a little much. Oirat, did they lose anything? They lost a little bit. They lost a little bit of land, but not a lot. Oirat also has no allies now, so this Khanate, it's probably gonna fall pretty soon, if I had to guess. Lemnos is under attack from Kraumna, and the Lemnian colonial war. Okay. Lemnos is allied with Sicily. What? The Kraumner Lemnian. Aren't you allied with? Oh wait, no, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I was mistaken. I thought I was on the wrong one. Also, it should be noted, Kraumna has a coalition against them. Ladies and gentlemen, that is something to watch out for. Because I'm going to pause it here just to illustrate my point, or just at least talk about it a little bit more. In the previous campaign, I believe, we saw a coalition. We saw a coalition form against the nation. I can't remember what nation it was, but it was a coalition in Central Europe against a nation that was expanding really hard, really fast. And, you know, usually you don't think that those coalitions will work, even if they get really big. But we saw in the previous campaign that, yes, a European coalition can work. And that power that got coalitioned, it never really came back. So if Kraumna really pisses off more people, and, you know, Tennis Ball is a really powerful enemy, there could be hell to pay. There really could be hell to pay. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and see the ledger. So Kraumna and Pontus are attacking Lemnos. And then, oh no, that is a punitive, oh no. I'm sorry, I'm peeking my microphone. I don't mean to hurt your ears, dear audience, but Kravens, you have angered the crowd, if I may say so. You have pissed them off royally. I will let you guys take a look at that war map as the war progresses. Kraumna may very well be actually fucked over. Needle is in this war, I believe, right? Fontaine, yes. So they're Fontaine, who is leading this war. They are at war with Needle, Kraumna, Donauland, Bulgaria, and Pontus. Kraumna has a long chain of alliances, but those chain of alliances, they can only do so much. Donauland does not have that many troops. They're scraping the barrel for manpower. Kraumna is spread thin at this point, and, you know, it's looking like it's too much. It's looking like it's too much. Fontaine has almost 200,000 ready to go. Tennis Ball has 300,000 ready to go. And Mondstadt also has around 200,000 ready to go. Not to mention, you know, Bulgaria, they're cool. You're participating, Bulgaria. You're trying. I like that you're trying. You've taken down Epirus. And you're in Anatolia next. That's not going to do much. That's not going to do much. We'll slow it down to speed 3 so you guys can really, like, get a scale of what's going on. Actually, yeah, the game is kind of lagging slightly, ever so slightly, because there's so many troops going around. You know, Kramna is trying to defend their land with Donauland aiding them, but Donauland's, like, they themselves are getting invaded up the ass. It's so much. Legitimately, it's so much. Like, there's more than 200,000 troops invading Donauland. And now you have so many more troops invading the heart of Kramna. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say other than you did this to yourself, Kramna. You know, your alliances are great. Your alliances stretch all the way into Anatolia and elsewhere. But I don't know. I don't know. You took too much land too fast, and this is where we end up. I'll put it back up to speed 4. Lemnos is losing against that colonial war. The war goal is Rosetta. So right here, as long as Lemnos holds Rosetta, they will get ticking war score, but Lemnos' mainland is still occupied. It should be noted that the military of Needle as well is getting dismantled. Also, I just realized there's more Protestantism. It's spreading very well in the British Isles. And it's actually even spreading over here because Needle is in Russia, or is in the Russian region. There you go. Donauland doing what they can, but it's a futile effort. In fact, if you look at the stats here, Donauland has 15% discipline on Mondstadt, but Mondstadt has more than 1 point of morale. More than 1 point of morale on Donauland. Tactics also favor Donauland. But it doesn't matter how much quality you have in your army, if you cannot supply them with troops, you are going to lose. That is the long and short of it. In fact, the capital of Donauland at Wien is completely taken over. The capital of Kramna, it's going to be taken over too. In fact, the gates to Italy are being opened up soon. You know, you have Genoa taken over, and you have La Spezia about to be taken over as well. And, you know, the gates to Italy will be opened, and it's going to be tragic. Pontus, one of the allies of Kramna, is being invaded by the likes of Ionia. Turns out that hitching your ride to the warmonger is not the best, unfortunately. Well, after that fiasco of a war that I just had to pay attention to, because that is a huge war. That is a region-like deciding war. Colima is attacking Apache, and then Kaideria is going after Guarani. I don't know why I like saying it like that. It's just fun. Teotl still going after Potawatomi after Arapaho took land from Potawatomi. Vijayanagara is going after Malacca, and then Junagadh is going after Kandy and Shan. And that's really about it for the wars as of now. Scottish China, they did lose quite a bit to Loibuk, but you know, they're not out of options. True, Scottish China doesn't have any allies right now, but doesn't mean they won't have allies forever. Nivk also won their war against Saka and took some land in Manchuria. Nice. MNT is as guaranteed by Sumeru. Timurids, they're not guaranteed, but they are chillaxing, reaching out west to Ardalan. Interesting. And yeah, just Astrakhan and Kazan. They're slowly reaching Shuravia, the powerhouse, with over 150,000 troops ready to go. I do like that, you know, Pontus, they're sticking it out to the end. They're not trying to separate peace or anything, or maybe they just can't separate peace at all. They are defending their land, trying to retake it. Their capital at Sinop is safe for now. Bulgaria, which has sided with Kramna, is taking a defeat from Ionia. But so far, Bulgaria's homeland is very safe. They are not they're not getting sieged down or anything yet. Meanwhile, the capital of Cromna has been taken over by Fontaine. The gates to Italy have indeed been opened, and Tennis Ball is rolling through. Donauland is also... They were getting fully occupied almost. They were about ready to get fully occupied. So, there is your peace deal for the Coalition War. Man. Switzerland is back on the menu, and Fontaine... I think Fontaine gained land? No. Okay. I don't know who exactly gained land from this war, or maybe it was a true coalition, and Cromna only lost land. I think they only lost land. Rome wasn't given back, but the papacy does have some land in Italy again. Switzerland, they are a bishopric. They are a theocracy, not a republic, and they are Catholic, so they are free again. I expect Switzerland will be devoured soon enough. But yeah, any ambitions of Cromna were just completely reset, and their alliance chain is still around, but it has been shown that the alliance chain of Cromna can be broken in several places. Lemnos, they have pieced out as well. I don't think they really gained or lost any. No, they gained actually a little bit over here in Egypt, I think. Yes, they did. They gained a little bit, and Fadl actually regained some of their coastline from Cromna. So, unadulterated defeat, but Cromna is not out. They still have room to grow if they play their cards right. Ardalan is going against Junagar, and Junagar has no allies, so it seems as though Ardalan is going to extend to the Persian Gulf or the Arabian Sea, whichever you want to decide to say. Loibuk now fully committing to going after Japan, and I do believe the navy of Loibuk is a match for Japan. In fact, Loibuk is being ambitious enough to use their brain and land in Japan. Japan, do you have a response? Holding up the microphone to Japan, they do have a response, and it's taking out a leaderless army. Which, hey, it's something. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna disparage Japan for losing or for winning that. That's good on them. Good shit. Japan is going over to Tsushima, fighting ghosts, and those ghosts have been defeated. But just as they were busy in the south, Japan, they're about to lose Mino, the fortress at Mino. If they lose this, oh shit. Things suddenly become a lot harder. Things suddenly become a little bit more dicey because Loibuk has reinforced Japan. Can you actually fight them off? It's not looking good. Japan does have more discipline. Loibuk has more morale. Tactics, roughly the same. And Japan is taking crossing and environment penalties for this battle. Ooh. Damn. A good showing over here at Hizen, but a poor showing at Mino means that Loibuk is going for Kyoto. The Emperor is in danger. Shogun Yoshitane, can you do anything about this? Time will tell if Japan bends the knee to Loibuk. I personally think they will bend the knee and they will be subservient, but I could be wrong. I could always be wrong about that. Kaideria is going after Fontaine. Straight up, Kaideria says, no, Fontaine, you get the fuck out. The Kaideria doctrine is in effect, and these lands in the Americas are mine. We're 25 minutes into the recording. Okay, and Epirus has taken over most of northeastern Canada, I would say. Interesting. I have a feeling that soon enough Etruria is going to... The United States of Etruria, mind you, are going to want to go and take over this colonial nation, but I'm not sure when. They might just leave it for now. Guarani, no allies, they're just sitting here waiting for death. because they've just been losing bit after bit to Kyderia. Kyderia is flexing their muscles left and right, stunting on Fontaine's colonial nations. Not stunting on Fontaine in general. Fontaine, you are not going to come over to Fontaine's homeland and boss them around. No, 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 no. But the colonial nations, you know, they're weak. That's reasonable. Anything else? Oh, actually, did Mondstadt? Yes, Mondstadt invaded Switzerland and took some land. It just means that Mondstadt is even scarier now for Kraumna in the future. And Mondstadt is allied to Fontaine. So, something to very much be aware of in the future. Ardalan got finished with Junagar, and now Ardalan says, hey, there's Ibadi over here. We can't be having that. Get this heresy out of here. Because it is a purge of Omani heresy. And Oman can't really fight back against the tidal wave of Ardalan, the Timurids, Mogadishu, and Fadl. The only ally of Oman is Semyon, and Semyon can win in East Africa if given enough time. You know, they won that battle right there against Mogadishu. But it's going to take a lot more than just winning in East Africa to win this war. Ardalan has Fadl, and Fadl is pretty strong. Now that they got their land back from Kraumna. The Timurids are no pushover either. The Timurids have over 100,000 troops. Oman is going to fall soon enough. Semyon, what is your answer if they start gunning for you next? Oh my, and Sumeru is straight up just going after Shan. Just straight up bullying the... Is it the Shan people? Yes. Bullying the Shan people because they can. Why you gotta be mean like this, Sumeru? What have they done to you? Loibuk, they're just making it happen. Japan, they can't. They just don't have the forces available to combat this, unfortunately. Loibuk has come through with enough naval power and enough military power to essentially flex on them. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. They have taken over Hizen. They have taken over Kyoto. Taken over Mino. They're about to take over Ki. Or Kai. Ki. I think it's Ki. And they're about to take over Hyuga. Like, at this point, the Shogun has failed the Japanese people. And at the same time, the South Fa has failed the Shan people. But then again, I think both you and me, dear viewer, saw this coming. You know, just nothing can really stop Sumeru in terms of expanding eastward against Shan. Really, Sumeru's next big barrier is going to be like Luistegar and the ally of Loibuk. Mogadishu. Mogadishu is actually allied with Sofala. I forgot about that. Semyon is still winning these battles in East Africa. Like I said, they can win in East Africa. It's perfectly plausible. But you know, rumblings in Arabia mean that the Timurids have arrived. Ardalan has arrived. Semyon, you better get ready. I just want to see something real quick. Alright, colonizing South Africa. And Paradox 2, you're colonizing over here. You're reaching out to Sofala. And Jene is slowly expanding. Zizao is slowly expanding. We're chilling. What are the wars like right now? So Loibuk is still going after Japan. Kyderia is still going after Fontaine. Scottish China is going after Saka. Really? Okay. Sumeru is now going after Junagar. And then Teotl as well. Teotl, do you have? You do! Oh my goodness! Teotl has subjugated Kolima as well as Potawatomi. Interesting. And now they're going after Arapaho. Man. This is like probably the most extensive like subjugation of any of other states I've seen across all campaigns. Because look at that. Teotl actually has a network of vassals, a network of subjects, and it's working out. Teotl's gathered enough power that they can overcome Arapaho. And Rasviet, credit to them, they have taken advantage of the weakness in Apache and expanded southward over here in quick fashion. The real question is going to be, can they really team up with the United States of Etruria and take down Teotl's alliance or vassal net? That's really going to be the question, because at this point it's going to be Central America versus the West Coast and the East Coast. But really it's the East Coast because, you know, Rasviet doesn't have that many troops, but Etruria has a shitload of troops in comparison. Teotl, they're in the middle. You know, they're in the middle. I totally forgot that there is a new institution. I would like to know where it's at. Papal States. Can you tell me where it's at? Where did that global trade spawn in? It spawned in Holland. Alright. So, tennis ball, they didn't need that injection of power points, but they got that injection of power points. Yeah. Center of global trade right here. And they've even upgraded the Dutch polders. Interesting. Virui, they're still around, much to the bane of a couple people's existence, and they're allied with the papacy, Sicily, Tennis Ball, and Ionia. Sicily, surprisingly enough, is still going strong in terms of their territorial claims. Their military leaves a lot to be desired. Bulgaria, conquering Lemnos, or trying to. Lemnos has no allies, unfortunately, so Lemnos is in this alone. Good luck, Lemnos. Actually, did Bulgaria bring anyone? Oh, mine. They did, actually. Kramna and Shuravia. Okay. So, Lemnos, never mind. You are going to get shafted. I am sorry. Ardalan is completing their conquest, at least, or trying to. They just need to find a way to get to Semyon, you know, find a way to get past the strait here, or, you know, get access to Kramna, but I don't think that's going to happen, if I'm honest. So, yeah. Eventually, Oman will get pieced out, I think. Maybe. Japan was pieced out, and, what other land did they lose? It does not seem like any land was lost, but, Loibuk definitely had a show of force against them, and forced Japan to, you know, or the Hojo clan, because the Hojo clan unified things. You know. You saw the previous parts, I'm sure. Mori has been forced to be released, and Nifk actually got land back from Japan. I actually did not see this. Japan did lose some stuff. They lost the provinces of Ryukyu and Amami, as well as the island of, or the Osumi Archipelago. I'm probably mispronouncing those, but I'm trying, man. Come on. So yeah, Japan not as strong as one may have anticipated before. And Loibuk doesn't want to stop. It's just straight up, Raishak needs to be defeated, and that's what they're doing. Oirat, the Khanate, is being dismembered bit by bit. Sarıgölgir from the south, Yugra from the north. So, yeah, goodbye, Oirat Horde. At least partially. Sambas, for some reason, thinks that going to the Arabian Peninsula is a good idea. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to nod and move on. Also, these colors are very, very odd. Like, I'm usually not one to be picky about, like, the colors of nations and all that. This just feels a little weird. It's like, there's a lot of purple, a lot of pink, a lot of orange scattered around. It's just a little, like, that's not the usual stuff. That's not even close to the usual stuff. It's a little weird. But I'm just messing around. Arapaho looking at a firm defeat soon enough, unfortunately. Teotl, as well as Potawatomi, They're doing work. They are doing a lot of work. Should be noted that Caddo is very much still rebellious. They don't give a shit about Teotl right now. 76% liberty desire. I would not be shocked if Etruria tried to support independence at some point. It could happen. It could happen. Lissenborg is actually coming down to South America to mingle, but Lissenborg, I mean, come on. We all know how things have gone, unfortunately. Morocco allied only with Ionia still. Unfortunate. I would have thought Morocco would get more allies. Lemnos might very well be fully annexed soon enough. Ionia, yeah, they want to kill off Lemnos. Why would you want to kill off Lemnos? What have they done to you? What have the Lemnians done? What sins have they committed? Also, Osnabrück is still here. Really? And how did you convert to Orthodox? I'm not entirely... Maybe there was a religious rebellion. But Shuravia is here to basically take it all. Basically telling the bishop, like, it's okay. I'll keep you safe. Don't worry. These lands, you know, they will be better protected under Shuravia, of course. I think we can go to 1609 or 1610. Sarıgölgir taking a healthy chunk out of the Oirat. It's not very developed at all, other than Uliastai, which is 22 development. That's pretty nice. Oh no, Loibuk, you did it. You're invading Louis de God. Why? The alliance chain is forever broken. Dear gods. Yeah, I don't see how Loibuk even loses at this point. They're kind of too big to fail against like the other Chinese competitors. That's just my opinion, though. I could be wrong. Maybe they'll get a coalition against them. Who knows? Also, Loibuk is even down here in Sumatra. Really? I didn't even think you were down there, brother. Vijay and Nagar are going after Junagar, and man, the Zoroastrians just cannot catch a break. Cannot catch a break at all. Ardalan taking over the majority of Oman's land in the Iranian region, so we have a big Kurdish realm here that is prospering off the back of their conquests. And Ionia, they have taken some land from Lemnos. Lemnos is now just left with stuff in the Pontic Steppe and Egypt, but I mean, they're being partitioned as we speak. Yeah. I'm sorry, Panda. I'm sorry, Red Panda. It's not going well, unfortunately. I wish things went better for your submissions, but unfortunately, they just didn't. Meanwhile, in the Isles, we have Needle being invaded. What is this? This tennis ball is straight up... Oh, okay. Book is trying to... Or tennis ball is trying to finish off Book. And Book is allied to Needle. And tennis ball brought in Coiny. So, you know the drill. The Protestants are fighting it out in their own arena, as they usually do now. And the Catholics are beating up on other Protestants on the mainland. Business as usual. Yeah, I don't think Protestantism is going to survive at all for mainland Europe. It's going to definitely survive in the Isles. There's no doubt about that. But anywhere else, well, actually, I guess in West Africa too, because Ormond is here, and Ormond is now resigned to the Canaries. So, could be worse, I guess. At the very least, you know, it's not just like pure Catholic domination no matter what. So, yeah, we're just chilling for now. Ionia just trying to finish their conquest of Lemnos. And Semyon, despite doing well against Mogadishu, they couldn't support Oman any further. And hey, we have Vijayanagar getting attacked by Sumeru. Vijayanagara, I don't think it's gonna go particularly well. Not when you have about 1/3 of this of the army of Sumeru. Holy shit. I should note too that Loibut does not have a land border with Louis de Gare. So there won't be any land taken. I forgot the Chinese hegemony Casus Belli. I forgot it gives cores. It gives cores. I totally forgot. Oh, my bad. My bad. I thought that it was a regular Casus Belli. I was like, oh, it's not. It doesn't do anything funky. No, it does. It really does. I think we will stop it in probably July 1st of 1610 here, and we'll call it. Look at that leaderboard and finish things off. United States is allied to Ormond, actually. Interesting. Okay. And then Krauna, you're still doing your own thing. Alright, and July 1st of 1610, it is auto-saved. And that'll be that for now. Pretty interesting so far. We're gonna leave this here part with these current wars. Lissenborg is going after Guarani. Nivk is going after Mori. Pontus and Sicily are going after Lemnos, so Lemnos is going to get finished off probably. And then Book and Needle are getting bullied. And Sumeru is doing their own work in the Indian subcontinent. So, yeah, interesting times indeed. But that'll be all for now. Let's look at that leaderboard. In first place is Sumeru. In second place is Tennis Ball. In third place is the Wendish Realm. In fourth place is Mondstadt. In fifth place is Donau Land. In sixth place is Kazan. In seventh place is Teoto. And in eighth place is Fontaine. That'll be all for now. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next part.